Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Sidebar. We got a good one for you today, talking the 1986 classic movie Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise, Val Kilmer, Anthony Eds, Little Scarrett. Cam and I realized that we actually I don't think we like Maverick that much, and I think we're more Goose fans. And for those
Spoiler
of you,
alert, we turn on Maverick.
we turn on Maverick pretty quickly. We also get into a little bit of the White Lotus season 3. We talk a little bit about Wicked because it's impossible to avoid. Cam talks a little bit about the old school Justice League TV show. And then we get into the staple sidebar with the 1980s Oscars that came out the same year. We do a little prelude to the movie with some fun facts about Top Gun. Before getting into the staple categories, best scene. We switch it up. We do best performance before line this time. And then we round it out with our favorite lines, our favorite one-liners from Top Gun. So, all right, baby, let's get into it. You can be my sidebar co-host anytime.
Bullshit. You could be mine.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Danger Zone. Gonna take you right into. That's pretty
The
good.
danger zone.
I'm Kenny Loggins. This is my man.
Wasn't that song written? Wasn't that song written for this movie?
Dude, I guess it was, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it when we do kind of like our Oscar, moment. Like not the only original song for Top Gun, which turned out to be a hit. God, I love this movie, and God, I love you, Cam. How you doing, buddy? I'm so happy to see you.
You too, buddy. I mean, it's great. I can barely see you through these glasses.
We are keeping them on the whole pod in honor of the cool. Like this movie made these glasses cool. Did they, or were they already cool?
They did, and really, in honor, we got to take a moment of silence. Moment of silence for the Iceman, Val Kilmer.
You're not doing a good moment of silence. All right, moment of silence. 1, 2, 3. All right, yeah. Rest in peace to Val Kilmer, who sadly passed away.
Yeah.
God, I mean, there's just such a. He's one of those guys where like.
You think he's in a lot more than you think he was in like a lot more, and he's like a name that you know, and you're just like, what can I put him in? And it's like, oh yeah, he was Iceman. And then I'm scratching my head. You know, he's like a niche reference character. He's a niche reference joke character in Psych, where they constantly say he works at the police department. That's his second biggest role to me. I don't know, but I love the guy. Well, I mean, obviously in the sequel, but I'm not counting playing the same character twice. You know what I mean?
We even alluded to Kiss Kiss Bang Bang in The Gentleman. He is in that movie. He's pretty known for that movie. The Saint is a really big movie of his that I haven't seen that I've heard is awesome. Thumbs up. He plays Jim Morrison in the Doors movie, which is obviously an iconic role.
We forget he was Batman also. Like, we don't. Oh, buddy, 1995 Batman Forever. Pretty sure he was the Batman suit with the nipples.
Oh, he was, dude.
I think that was him, dude.
Who was the bad guy in that one?
Oh, bro. I don't know, man. It's been a long
Batman
time.
Forever.
Yeah.
Are we not? Are you
Tommy
sure
Lee Jones is the Riddler.
Okay, I was gonna say, you sure we're not doing one of these? We think somebody's in a movie where
no, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Tommy Lee Jones played Two-Face. Jim Carrey.
Tommy Lee Jones, Two-Face. That's what I was thinking.
Jim Carrey was the Riddler. Quick compare and contrast: Riddler from the Batman versus Jim Carrey Riddler. Go.
Who did it better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's those old Batman movies were such a cartoon version of themselves. Like, and the new ones they're so hyper.
1995. 1995.
Yeah. Have you seen the makeup for any of those? Have you seen the Tommy Lee Jones Two-Face makeup?
It's so ridiculous for a movie.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, the new Batman movies are far too like hyper realistic, where it's like, okay, please stop making this like a terrorist attack on Gotham. Like, just make it like a fun cartoony thing because this is all hitting home too far. And like the Riddler has like a social media agenda. It's like, God, stop it, stop doing that.
The Riddler's an online troll galvanizing the citizens of Gotham.
The Riddler's like a 4chan guy, and like I want the Riddler to be like talking in riddles and have a funny jester hat. Like I don't know, but yeah,
Dude,
obviously Val
a
Kilmer.
crime, a crime. They removed the hat and cane.
Here's a here's a great movie for the Val Kilmer fans. Willow. It's like an old dark fantasy movie that Val Kilmer is in,
Mm.
and he plays like a knight. Fantastic. My upper echelon of Val Kilmer is Tombstone, Doc Holliday.
I mean,
If
how
you
can
know,
you forget? Yeah, how can you forget Heat too?
yeah. I mean, Heat is another one of those movies where I think similarly to Top Gun, I really thought he was in the movie a lot more than he is. But like I mean, in Heat,
Oh yeah,
he's
you go back
awesome.
and watch it. He's not. He's not in it ton.
Not to mention, I love Heat, and I've actually gotten some. You should do Heat on the pod, dude. It's like a 3 hour movie, and it is a fun movie, but
Me and
it's a
Dan
lot.
struggle with. Let me tell you, the longer movies, it's like we get to an hour 45 minutes in, and we're just like, all right, it's time to go. It's time to record. We get so amped up. We're so ready for the sidebar. We just can't
Yeah,
hold it. 3 hours, too much. No way.
we did. Did we watch Wolf of Wall Street together
Bro,
when we were back
dude,
in
oh
college?
my, bro, we did Lethal Weapons 1 and 2 back to back. Remember we talked about
Yeah,
doing so a little, behind the pod here.
yeah,
Um, we decided to do Top Gun, right? Uh,
yeah,
we decided to do it in 2 parts. We were gonna do it
yeah,
back to back, but that's like
yeah.
what 5 hours of just film, and then another,
I
two
don't know how
podcasts back to
long
back.
Top Gun Maverick is. I don't know the runtime for it, but this was cushy. This was a cushy under 2 hour movie. I mean, this was great.
Yeah,
Hour
just
40.
under 2 hours.
Yeah.
Quick pacing too. It never felt like it dragged, right? Like it was
I don't know if I agree. I think that there were a couple moments where I was like, okay, come on. But
yeah, but
they spend so little time on Goose's death, and they spend so much time on some of the other
but
stuff.
like that's why this movie is so funny, and it's like it's so unintentionally funny, and it's
It's
just like
it's
so
unintentionally hilarious.
it's such a it feels like a campy movie that like they weren't trying to make campy, but it's just so
Well, it's
like
it's such a good
all of
it's such a
Maverick's all of Mav's like shenanigans in the beginning of the film are just like so out there, and it's just like, what am I watching? The Roadrunner right now?
we'll
Like,
talk about it when we get into it. But like, is this
yeah,
a like this has got to be the most quintessential '80s movie I think ever made. I mean, Grant, we're Gen Z,
absolutely.
millennial Gen Z. I don't really know what generation you and I fall into. I think we're like the cusp. But
Mhm.
for us to say this is quintessential '80s, like I'm sure people who grew up in the '80s would disagree or have something else in mind. But to
Mhm.
me, when I think of '80s movies, I think of fucking Top Gun, dude. Kenny Loggins, like just the volleyball scene, the hair, like the outfits, like everything
Mhm.
about this movie, like this, just kind of the aroma of everybody being like freebasing cocaine, throughout the whole thing, like is just
Mhm.
crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so perfect. Obviously today we're talking about Top Gun, the original Top Gun, not Top Gun Maverick, which I guess spoiler alert, we're planning on doing.
Yeah,
I
next
think it's
episode.
pretty fair
All
to
right.
say that movie rocks. I mean, Top Gun Maverick is fun. I can't wait to watch
Great
and talk
movie.
about that.
Great movie.
But
Yeah, we don't want to
today's
make. We're not going to
dedicated.
make this a Top Gun Maverick episode though. This is a
No,
Top
today's
Gun
dedicated to the
episode.
1986 hit Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise. We haven't done any Tom Cruises, right? This is our first cruise.
I think. Yeah, I think it's got to be. This is also definitely the oldest movie we've done. Right.
You think so? Lethal Weapon
Yeah.
was like 85, wasn't it?
Oh, I forgot about Lethal Weapon, dude. I think Lethal Weapon was 87 though. If I had to think.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think
I mean,
Lethal
this
Weapon was
falls
87.
into
I
yeah,
spaced Lethal Weapon. You caught me because I
yeah.
just saw the double feature and I didn't think about it when I was looking at the episode
I don't
list.
remember when they came out, but I mean, also quintessential '80s movies. If I think they came out in the '80s,
No, it definitely came
before,
out in the 80s.
yeah. Why don't we open up with a little what you've been watching, just to kind of catch everybody back up? And Cam, my first question to you is: have you been watching Severance?
No, you're gonna be disappointed in me. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to pause the Severance update. We haven't had the time to sit down and really digest what we need to. Look, here's the thing. If I'm just gonna watch a show to enjoy it, I could do that. Now I have to be riddled with questions about
No, you
whether
don't.
Oh, we're on a podcast. You think you're not going to ruin me with questions?
I'm your
I got to be
friend.
prepared. So you
I just
you
want you
ruin the
to.
question. You're my friend. You ruin me with questions all the time.
I don't riddle you. I don't riddle. There's no riddling. This is a podcast. You watch Severance to enjoy Severance. Please do that.
Yeah.
Sus-
I will, but I
suspend
want to have.
suspend the pod. Suspend the pod. Just watch it.
I'll never suspend the sidebar. Don't you
I
put that
know.
even on me. Don't
I know. I'm
don't
sorry.
even speak that into existence.
Okay, so disappointing that you haven't watched Severance. Now
No.
ask me what I've been watching.
Oh, here we go. What have you been watching, Dan?
Well, once again, I have zero life, and I've watched a good amount of stuff. I did finish White Lotus season 3,
Mhm.
and for those people out there who are White Lotus fans, my hot take is that White Lotus season 2 was still better than season 3. I think from a story perspective, I like season 2 more. I also like I think I liked the cast in season 2 of White Lotus more, almost solely based on Michael Imperioli and Aubrey Plaza. Like I die for those two, and it's Christopher and it's April from Parks and Rec. Like I love them, and in White Lotus season 2, those two are
Th-
incredible.
This is exactly the problem we always have, where it's like you fell in love with Michael Imperioli and Aubrey Plaza and other projects, and now you're hooked. And no matter what you watch them in, you're in. This is
There's a term for that. I think a recency bias, is that what it's called? Is that what recency bias is?
no, I don't know if recency bias is quite the right term. I think it kind of fits, but
Okay. Anyways, I mean, but White Lotus season 2 from a story perspective and I think a cast perspective, I loved. White Lotus season 3 from a character perspective, I think is the strongest season they've had though. White Lotus season 3 is incredible. Mike White, who is I think, weirdly enough, people know Mike White from his one season of Survivor, but when he was on Survivor, White Lotus season 1 had already come out, but for those of us who know Mike White, he's Ned Schneebly from School of Rock, man. I mean, how can you not know Mike White as Ned Schneebly from
Ned
School of Rock?
Schneebly.
School of Rock is one of the best movies ever. It's such a classic. It's a movie that I might add it to the sidebar list. Um,
Don't be
but
killing any more actors. Put them on the list, bro.
That's true. That's true. But White Lotus season 3 is incredible because Mike White he's just writing circles around us. Like he knows exactly what everybody wants to see, even though it might be some of the most inhumane, just perverted stuff that anyone's ever thought about. Somehow Mike White really just he weaves it in really well. And season 3 of White Lotus does a pretty good job of weaving in some pretty demented storylines to a really interesting show. Great characters though. I mean, and you got some actors that have come back big in this season. The Walton Goggins love. I'm here for all the Walton Goggins love because Goggins is the man. Um,
Mm.
we need more Walton Goggins, and he's been in everything recently. I feel like he's in a new show every month. Um, but yeah, you got Michelle Monaghan comes back, Carrie Coon comes back, Jason Isaacs is in this, Parker Posey is in this. Like, what an unbelievable cast that of people that I feel like I was done hearing about, and they just come in and they murder this show. No pun intended. But yeah, White Lotus season 3 really fun. Would highly recommend for anybody who isn't. I'd be hard pressed to find somebody who isn't watching. Similarly to Severance, like everybody's watching White Lotus, and it just ended. The finale just happened, so we're really big on that. Did you? I also shamelessly watched Wicked again the other day. And
I told you 10 episodes, and you can talk about it again.
I'm just gonna I'm just gonna continue to watch it until I'm ready. But I think the reason I wanted to watch it was because they came out with the making of Wicked on Peacock, so that I could see the production. And even though it was like a 45-minute just kind of like love fest for Wicked and the story and blah blah blah, it's really cool to see the production the production value of Wicked. Incredible, man. I know you're giggling and you're looking at me laughing, but like
I
it was
just
great.
I did not know you were so into like musicals. I kind of love it. Like it's just like a passion I didn't really know about you until we started doing the sidebar. But like I don't know, it's been up. Like Wicked's got Dan acting.
You know, it's funny because, like, okay, I grew up playing sports in high school and in college, and I never really dabbled in the arts, so to speak. I mean, my love for movies has always been there. I think similarly to you, but you know, we're sports kids growing up, and although I was in the play in high school, I was Coach TJ. Um, I never really got into theater, but when my little brother got into theater and really started going for it, and I started to go see all of his shows, similarly like how I'd go see my brother play football games, and I'd root for my brother to do well on the field. Like I'm rooting for my little brother to do well on stage, and it just it unlocked this love for musicals for me, and so I'm super bought in on every musical. But Wicked, like you don't understand how amazing this production was because like the stage to screen, it doesn't happen it doesn't get executed well that often. This concept it has happened before, and I would say like 9 times out of 10 it's done really poorly. The Jersey Boys movie was terrible. Cats was a flop. Like Les Mis was like, in my opinion, the last really good stage to screen movie. I know you're laughing, but it was great.
No. I'm laughing because like there's a couple reasons why Cats was a flop. I don't know.
Yeah, no, totally. James, what was his name? James
James Corden, dude.
Corden. Yeah, screw that. T Swift. But anyways, I can't say enough good things about Wicked, and it's one of these movies that it was an instant classic, and I'm going to continue to rewatch it, and I'm gonna fucking love it every time. I don't care. But yeah, I shamefully rewatched that. And then in my last, what I've been watching is I was forced to watch an episode of this reality show called Summer House, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but my love for reality TV is pretty high. Like I'm a big Love Island guy. I watch Love Island every year. I can't wait for the new season of Love Island. UK, I'm a UK guy, although I have dabbled in the US and Australia.
I may or may not have caught a couple episodes of Perfect Match on
Yeah.
Netflix. Awful, dude. It's so terrible.
But there's the thing about like there's the dating reality shows, and then there's like the reality shows that are games, you know, Survivor, so much fun.
Oh, I
But
love
like,
a oh, dude, give me a Big Brother. I
yes,
love games like that, dude. Those are fun.
agreed.
You know,
Agreed. But this show Summer House is just like, hey, we're, you know, 10 rich friends, and but they are really funny. They're all really funny. But it's just one of these shows where it's like there's no purpose. It's
yeah,
like The
there's there.
Hills or Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And like I did the typical kind of boyfriend thing where like, you know, she's watching it and I'm like, this is stupid. And then by the end of the episode, I was like, oh my God, Kyle did what to, you know, to Amanda?
You get so bought in.
So hooked. So I don't know if I'm going to continue to watch Summer House, but
Yeah.
it is fun to watch. I do like mindless reality TV shows, so I feel like I should make a note of that. Anyways, do you have anything else that you've been watching recently, Cameron?
Only one kind of thing. So I'm getting bombed with like it's not the algorithm, I don't think, but I found this Instagram account, right? And I'm gonna go on a wicked nerdy tangent right now. So strap in. Strap in.
All right.
It's a So it's an Instagram account that's like an AI Batman creating contingency plans for every like character in like every media, and I'm so locked into it. It's not even funny, right? But it made me go back, right? So I don't know if you ever watched. I don't think you've ever been a big like superhero guy, but like the DC animated stuff that they came out with from in like the 2010s is like one cohesive long story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's really good, and I started going back and watching, and there's like 20 something movies. Yeah, it's a real good roster.
Was this I feel like I remember seeing all like the super like the cartoon Supermans and like Poison Ivy and stuff like that,
Yeah,
right?
dude. Well, they did so like DC does like a ton of animated stuff, like, and it's like all over the place. Like this was a more serious like kind of like tone, and like
Okay.
they were like really like killing heroes off and stuff. They also have like the Harley Quinn show where it's just like making fun of everything, and I think that's what
Yeah.
the animation you're referring to, which
Yeah.
I've also watched that, and it's wicked. It's pretty funny, right?
Yeah.
But like the the DC animated universe, they had a really good run. It was like 10 years, 20 something movies.
Yeah. I remember the old school the animated Spider-Man movies and TV show back in the
Yep.
day. I
hmm
watched those as a
All
kid
the
and
old animated superhero stuff is like probably like the best, right? Like I don't know if you ever watched the old Justice League show. Obviously, like
yeah.
Batman animated series. Shout out Batman Beyond.
Yeah, dude. I think I did watch Batman Beyond.
Batman Beyond the movie. I burned that VHS out when I was a kid.
Yeah, I never dabbled in those. But you know what, Cam? Like, similarly to my love for musicals, your love for the superhero universe is just as big. And so I'm not going to yuck your yum when it comes to this.
No,
There
no,
was a
no.
time when I would yuck your yum, but I've
Yeah, it was
turned over a
yesterday.
new leaf. I have. I know. I mean, the Marvel thing just killed my love for any superhero. But there was a time when it was incredible, and not for nothing, it still is incredible because they're the most successful movies of all time. But yeah, you love to nerd out about superhero stuff, man. I'm never going to stop you from that. So don't ever stop me about nerding
I
out
wouldn't.
about.
Look, I'm telling you, Wicked specifically. I told you 10 episodes. We'll do an episode.
Yeah. And you know what? We're going to get your superhero due in here too, because even though we've already done the Dark Knight, I'm sure that there's a
No, we did.
superhero.
We did Spider-Man too. We did
We
one of the
did.
animated ones. Yeah, you must have forgot. That was a
Into
pretty.
the
That's
no,
a,
we did into the spider. We did Into the Spider Verse
yeah.
a while ago. A while ago.
Mm.
Phenomenal movie once again. So there's plenty of superhero stuff out there that I love, but we can find we can continue to find some because I just know that you like them so much. All right, let's get into today's topic of conversation, which is again the 1986 classic Top Gun, featuring Tom
Dude,
Cruise.
this movie is just like it's just like fun. I like how we're on a trend of we go through arcs with the sidebar, right? We go
We do,
through like we had a gangster arc for a little bit. We
yeah,
had more of like an action like just straight killing people arc. Our diehard lethal weapons. We had just
yeah,
our Tarantino arc, which was whatever however you describe that, right?
yeah.
Uh, and now we had I think two more serious tone movies, longer with Interstellar Interception or Interstellar Inception when it started, right? Um,
Interception, the movie,
dude, I was
starring
like,
starring
Interstellar Interception is like that's write the book right now, right? Um,
Interception, the movie starring Jameis Winston, and it profiles him
we're
for
not doing the Heisman
college.
pose. That'd be great.
The Heisman pose, yeah. But you're right.
But
Yeah, I
like
agree with
now
you.
we're doing fun movies. We
Yeah, we're
did
doing
The
fun
Nice
movies.
Guys.
Yeah,
We did The Gentleman, which like I wouldn't say it's a fun movie, but like the last one are just like a quick, easy, fun watch. You're
just
hooked the whole time.
watch. Just shut up and watch Top Gun with me. Like
Mhm.
just we don't need to. Well, let's not overanalyze this movie. Let's not
Exactly.
pick at this movie. This is a movie that deserves to be celebrated.
That's
And
why that's why we're so excited because Best Line is so fucking back. It's not even funny.
we're so back. We haven't. I think in Sidebar 2.0, Best Line has been lacking significantly.
Because the
Uh,
movies haven't been like. Here's the thing: we've done a lot of high profile movies, and those are the
yeah,
movies that have the quotes.
right,
You know what
right,
I mean? Like we
yeah,
don't have the quotes on the other ones.
right. This one is. I mean, quotable forever.
You know what's hilarious?
What's that?
We skipped over the Oscars. Like we got so hyped for this episode. I don't
I
think
know.
we talked about I
Yeah,
just like all right, like a little behind the pod. We had some technical difficulties.
yeah, but we're back. We're back.
I almost said shout out Anchor, but that's 5 years ago.
Also, different. That's not. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, no,
that's
I
two
know.
different things.
Shout out Anchor though. Gave us the start. Shout out.
Yeah,
We
sure.
never would
Shout
have.
out Anchor.
We never would have made the sidebar without Anchor. People forget.
No, it's true.
Uh,
I remember looking at Anchor and being like, "Oh shit, it's really that easy to just put stuff on Spotify. We can just do it through this." And we're like, "Cool, let's just do it." And then we're like, "Oh my god, we're on Spotify." Like we didn't even pay
and
for anything.
don't act like you still don't see that every time you see us pop up
It is kind of
on.
bizarre.
You know.
You know what is embarrassing is that now that we're on Spotify, when Spotify Wrapped comes out, the sidebar always ends up in my Spotify Wrapped podcast listened to of the year. And people are like, "You listen to your own podcast?" And I'm like, "Of course I do. I'm vain as hell. Why do you think I decided to
Dan
do this?"
Dan actually is such a good friend to me. He re-uploads edited versions that are just him muted, and it's just me talking. And he
Yeah,
just pretends he's having the conversation again to himself, and he responds in different ways, and it's a whole thing, bro.
I'm just talking in my car to you
Look,
on.
we've been apart for too long, my friend. That's what happens.
I actually pause you on the recording so that I can talk over you.
Dan is actually having the conversation with himself. My bad, I
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah,
Oh
that's
wait,
exactly. Do you want to get into what happened in the Oscars in this year, which was what the 1987 Oscars, I believe, is what it was?
1986.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, I don't know how many movies you're gonna know or have watched. Platoon won
Try
Best
me.
Picture.
Try me.
Try you? Okay, let's go down. I mean, we can just go instead of the Oscars, right? Because I don't see a bunch, and there's not a lot of Best Picture films. There's five pictures nominated for Best Picture.
Interesting.
Platoon, Children of a Lesser God. You seen that one?
No, but I've seen Platoon.
All right. Have you seen Hannah and Her Sisters?
Nope.
What about The Mission?
Nah.
What about A Room with a View?
A Room with a View. Yeah, I know A Room with a View.
Okay. All right. 2 out of 5 ain't bad. 2 out of 5 ain't bad.
I'll take 2 out of 5. But
Um. All right.
there was more movies. There was more movies kind of bopping around
Yeah, I
this
know.
year, wasn't there?
That's why I'm gonna run you down the top 10 highest grossing of 1986.
Oh, beautiful. That's the list I
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. You didn't let me finish. Top Gun #1. Honestly,
I
no
love Top Gun.
surprise. Here's the thing: they don't make movies like this is such a cliche. They really don't make movies like this no more. That are just
They
like a
don't.
number one hit, not a franchise.
Yep.
Like that just goes out and wrecks another movie. Crocodile
Well,
Dundee #2.
wait. Well,
Uh,
not a franchise back in 1986, but in true
no,
2020, fashion, we
not
have
not part
thus.
of an existing franchise at the time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Now we have to add that caveat.
Yep.
Um, Platoon, Crocodile
Platoon.
Dundee, Karate Kid Part 2,
Oh. Okay. No one saw that.
Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home,
Eh.
Back to School, Aliens.
Oh, Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, dude. I mean, that's a classic, right? Rodney Dangerfield. Okay.
The Golden Child, Ruthless People, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, what? This came out the same year as Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
I know.
And Ferris Bueller wasn't really given any love in the Academy Awards, huh?
No, it wasn't.
Why do you think
I
that
mean,
is?
not. I mean, neither was Top Gun. Really, Top Gun was only like sound editing. Like,
Top Gun won an Oscar
yeah,
for um, Best Original Song.
yeah.
Take My Breath Away. Take my breath
Which, like,
away.
honestly, like, I'm sure we're gonna be wrong that like Danger Zone was made. I'm like 90% sure Danger Zone was made for this movie.
I
And
think
if
it
it
was.
was,
I
if
think
it was, criminal that it didn't
with enough
win.
confidence, we can say that I think Highway to the. I think Kenny Loggins did write it for this movie. Um, yeah, I mean, how did that not? I mean, "Take My Breath Away" is a pretty staple song too, though. I mean, they're both pretty awesome, and I think
Mhm.
"Take My Breath Away" won just solely based on the beautiful peak '80s sex scene between Tom Cruise and Kelly McGillis in this movie, because it is an all time '80s sex scene with that song in the background. Like, it's absolutely perfect.
This
I'm
movie, like,
also
it's just so 80s all around. The volleyball, like,
yeah.
we just gotta start getting into it. We're gonna start talking about the movie,
Well, I
bro.
wanted to
What do you
say
want us? Go ahead.
I wanted to say a couple fun facts that I kind of just did
Mhm, mhm.
half-assedly researching this movie. Um, so all the flight scenes in this movie were obviously they were real pilots flying these jets, F-14s and FA-18s, like real pilots flying these. Um, the Pentagon had a hand in this movie. I don't know if you knew that. This was actually a government subsidized movie that was kind of like pro-military propaganda, and there have been other movies like that historically. Black Hawk Down, I think, is one of them. There are some other movies out there
Well,
that,
it's funny you say that because, like, I'm pretty sure after this movie came out, there was a huge uptick in people signing up for the Air Force.
I mean, again, it's, at the end of the day, the military is kind of a business as well. It's one of the most profitable probably ever. And they need their marketing, they need their propaganda, baby. So why not make an awesome movie with Tom Cruise and Val Kilmer just chewing gum and wearing cool sunglasses, and everybody thinks that's what's going on. But the Pentagon, yeah, it had a hand in the movie and had a hand in writing the script, specifically one scene, which we'll get into in best scene. Another fun, just kind of half-assed fun fact that I found was that Tom Cruise did have to wear lifts in his shoes this movie, specifically in his scenes with Kelly McGillis, who plays Charlie, because she was probably a good 3 to 4 inches taller than him. And my guy Tom Cruise is a short king, as we say, and needed to look a little bit more manly standing next to her. So they put lifts in his shoes so that he could be just about the same height as her, which is hysterical.
Let's
Um,
talk real quick about, and I hate to bring in some sequel talk, right? But Let's talk about how Tom Cruise didn't look a day different in the sequel, and like you look at her now,
Homie,
and they like wouldn't bring her back. Like,
Homeboy is aging backwards, dude. Homeboy is aging backwards.
I
I mean, it's Tom Cruise's world. He's owned Hollywood
oh, dude, this
forever.
talk about Tom Cruise's world. This movie, Tom Cruise, just fucking.
Yeah,
This is
this
his
is
world, dude. Like the way he speaks to everybody, especially
it's
like her and the
it's
everyone at the beginning of the
insane.
film. It's so funny. Like,
It's insane. Everything
but
he
in
does
this
in this
movie,
movie.
like there's a heartfelt thread of like learning humility. Like they sneak it in there at the end, right? Like
look,
it's got something for everybody. It really does.
look at you taking lessons away from a classic '80s movie that's really just about cool planes. um, I want to open best scene with talking about beginning credit scenes are also not they are not we have not they don't make beginning credit scenes like they do like back in the day. Like
No.
the cold open with just the floating words on the screen talking about Top Gun being this elite fighter pilot school. Like it is such a perfect way to open the movie. It's just a there are so and so many pilots in the world and they go to this elite school, excuse me, and it's called Top Gun. Like we don't get opening
Yep.
credits like that. We don't.
And
And
and like speaking of using the our classic cliche, using the title of the film in the film, it sets
I
you up, right? You
it's
know.
perfect. The amount of times Top Gun is said in Top Gun, I get so excited every time they say it. And in
Mm-hmm.
my best line, I'll talk about one of my favorite lines. But yeah, like and
Let's
just
start
like the
with what category you want to start with?
let's get into best scene. Let's start best scene first
Best
because
scene?
Stinger's monologue in the beginning is one of my favorite moments. Like right after everything goes down with what's his name? The opening pilot in the beginning. I forget his name, but he kind of he kind of backs out a little bit and freaks out and he quits the Navy and Stinger, he starts yelling at Maverick and Goose. You guys are rogues. You guys are idiots. And he has a couple unbelievable lines. In and then he goes, you guys are going to Top Gun. Like it's just a classic old timey heat check performance from this guy who plays Stinger, which I don't even know the name of the actor. Maybe I'm going to get slack for that for not knowing a niche '80s actor, but
What, you talking about James Tolkien? Come on.
is that his name?
It's been Back to the Future 1 and 2.
Who does he play in that?
I don't know. He's just in it. I don't know what you
No,
want me to. What you
you
want me
don't
to have
actually know.
his whole history?
You don't actually know.
He
You're just
played
pulling up IMDb and saying you don't know that he's in this movie.
wrong. He plays Principal Gerald Strickland.
Okay, all right.
All right, come on.
Back to the Future is another good one that we could do if we want to go on an '80s run, which I'm actually down to do.
80s run was elite.
I wouldn't say that that's nominated for one of my best scenes, but I just love how this movie opens, man. You get the credits, you get the the opening title screen, and then it's just this awesome montage of fighter jets doing cool stuff while Highway to the Danger Zone is being played in the background by Kenny Loggins, and it's just like just inject the '80s into my veins, man. Like just do it. This is beautiful. Like I just love every minute about it. So yeah. And then I guess my first best scene in the movie is when they all sing. They're all at the bar and they're at Top Gun
Great
now.
Balls of Fire.
Actually, it's before that.
Okay,
It's when
because
he first.
that's one of my favorite scenes in the movie where they're
Of
with the
course,
families. It's with Goose's wife. I think it's
it's Meg Ryan, dog.
yeah, Meg. Well, no, I know Meg Ryan. I'm just trying to think of the who's the actress who
I
plays his love interest in this film.
I had no idea who. Oh, the actress. Oh, Kelly McGillis plays Charlie
Kelly
McGuire.
McGinnis. Yeah, that was her name. Yeah, this is Meg Ryan's like big debut. This is her like
Dude, I had no idea Meg Ryan was in this movie. And also,
yeah.
I didn't know that Tim Robbins was in this movie. I had two people that I'm like, holy shit, these are crazy actors. I didn't know they were in Top Gun. That's
Mhm.
crazy. Yeah, that's the goodness gracious Great Balls of Fire scene is awesome because I mean we're just getting Anthony Eds as Goose like at his peak. Goose is the best character in this movie. Um, I know that we wanted to talk about Val because Iceman is great, and we will talk about Iceman. But like, there's so many great moments from this movie. It's really just Goose. Like Maverick is. I don't know if I like Maverick nearly as much as I like Goose.
Dude,
Like,
Maverick's a fucking prick. Like he's the
yeah,
worst character in this movie. He is, but till the very end. Like that's the thing. Like the end of the movie. Like you know, I don't know what other big best scenes you have. I can just rip through a couple
I
if
think
you
it's a
want. We
good
can kind of
It's a good. What you're talking about is a good prelude into my what I was saying is so the scene in the beginning when he first meets Kelly McGillis when he first meets Charlie. Um, because yeah, like the scene when him and Goose are at the bar, they're all singing. They roll up to her and they all start singing "You Lost That Love and Feeling," which is a great song. But they suck at singing, so they're all serenading her, and it's just like this cringy, horrible, cringy moment where where him and Goose are just going back and singing the lines, and it's just like, how would any girl ever think that that's good? And then immediately after, fucking Maverick follows her into the bathroom, dude. This is a
dude.
weird.
Yeah, like let's just full. We disavow.
Yeah. Yeah, as we in the
We
sidebar,
disavow Maverick's behavior both
agreed.
militarily and personally.
Agreed. As part of the sidebar, we stand by not approaching a woman in the women's bathroom and like, really like getting up in her face about going out with him. Like, is there a creepier thing you could ever do in the history of like human interaction than walk into the bathroom when it's just you and some other person and like press yourself up against them? Like, how would that ever work? The fact that she falls in love with him in this movie is absolutely outrageous.
It's the Tom Cruise in the 1980s effect, man. I like
He's
you know
he's going rogue. When he like this was, I mean, this was, I think, the height of his. Is this like the height of his kind of era? Like, I know Tom Cruise has transcended the term era because he's
this
basically
is
been.
like the height of his like I think like more like of a I wouldn't say like bad boy era, but it's like that kind of like more of like a heartthrob era. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because like,
you have risky
you know,
business near this time.
yeah, Risky Business came out before this, and then he hits us with Top Gun, and then he comes out with Cocktail after
Yeah,
Color of Money, and then he's in Rain Man, then he's in Born on the Fourth of July, and then he's in A Few Good Men and The Firm, and it's just like, God, Jerry Maguire, like he just for I mean, since he's been on the scene, Tom Cruise has been the guy. But like this was kind of the beginning of it all, and yeah, he's really just he's showing those teeth, and this it's pretty evident in this scene when they're all singing because this is the first time he meets her, and it's just so cringy, dude. It's brutal to
well
watch.
the yeah well also brutal is just like the way like they go to the kind of not the same scene but kind of similar the classroom.
Yeah,
When you're talking to Charlie. And some
and
of
she
the lines
calls him
there.
out.
So yeah, and she's like, "Oh, where'd you see that?" And he's like, "Classified. That's
Yeah.
classified."
He's
If
so
I told you,
slow.
if I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Yeah, and then he like looks around and giggles like as he's like his arm is over his
And
chair.
like
He's
a lot of these, I see. Like, here's the thing: best line, best scene. We transcend categories, right? Because I have on the same note written communicating. Keeping up foreign relations. And they
yeah.
start pushing the finger. Don't show that. Don't show that. Don't show that.
Yeah, no, I won't. My next best scene is, I think, without a doubt, the best scene in the movie and the most iconic scene, maybe of all time, the volleyball scene. Kenny
Mhm.
Loggins in the background, playing with the boys is on. There's no way Tom Cruise can jump over the net and spike the ball the way he's doing it in this scene because he's 5'7". He's got Anthony Eds as his man behind him. He's going up against Iceman. It's just the most ridiculous thing ever. Slow motion, guys without their shirts. They're all ripped. They're tan. They're oiled up. Like, it's just the most outrageous scene ever, and it just feels so out of place the way that it's filmed. But is there a more iconic scene to any '80s movie than the volleyball scene from Top
No,
Gun?
it's been parodied in
Time and
everything.
time again.
You know
Even so much so that they had to recreate some sort of volleyball scene in Top Gun Maverick with the touch football scene on the beach. Like, they're like, we can't have Top Gun without some sort of.
there has to be a shirtless scene in some capacity on a beach, slow motion with a
Yeah.
lot of artificial sweat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
I mean, we're talking a lot of artificial sweat and spray tans. Like these guys they look like cartoons, and they're all ripped on. I'll give them credit. All the guys in this movie, they're shredded, man. Like they look great, but it's just this just feels so unnecessary. This scene, but it's because it feels unnecessary that you love it so much, and it becomes amazing. You know what I mean?
mhm,
So
yeah.
yeah, volleyball scene is absolutely one of my favorites. I'll let you go.
I mean, I don't know if you have any other huge ones to talk about. I just think, obviously the end is so much of a you got kind of split it in two. I mean, like, here's the thing. I group a lot of the fighter, like when he's in the cockpit scenes and like you see like the jets, it's like I kind of group a lot of those shots together. I think
Yeah,
that would probably be like the cinematography and like the how everything looks is like amazing, right?
I mean
And they keep it up a notch, crazy in the sequel.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean the flight scenes in Maverick are really good, but the flight scenes in this are for 1986. Like
oh, they
they're
were dude, incredible. Yeah,
pretty hard to beat. Pretty hard to beat.
yeah.
I mean that dog fight at the end, the final scene of the movie, like it is really intense, and I think they carry it. They carry that final scene like just long enough that I don't feel like I'm getting motion sick watching it. Like I think
Yeah.
it is kind of hard to follow because it's they're cutting to shots of the people in the cockpit versus shots of just kind of jets flying.
And
It's
you're surround like the way you understand where you are in the scene is like you have to listen to them talk, and it's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like it's not
It's
nonsense,
hard
but
because
it's
they're
like
all
you're
kind
like,
of
but you're in the fight with them, Dan. You gotta be ready to react.
it
You're in the
is
dogfight.
they do give you that good kind
Dan,
of
Maverick is like, talk to me, Dan. Talk to me.
talk to me, Goose. We decided that I am Goose and Cam is Maverick for this podcast,
Yeah,
which I think is. You think that's fair?
I don't know who's more dangerous. I wouldn't really put any. I wouldn't put you or I on any dangerous list.
I don't think either of us are dangerous, but I've had a lot of
No.
surgeries in my life. I've been broke my face.
Yeah, and there's a chance I accidentally killed Dan at some point, so.
Yeah, you're
It
definitely not
wouldn't be,
dangerous.
hey, but it would be ruled not my fault, and I'd still be a star after. So
I mean, okay. First of all, when Goose dies, let's talk about.
you took such offense to that. You took such offense to that. I didn't set you up for that. I just thought of that. Like, by the way, like I only wanted you to be Goose, so I could say, "Talk to me, Goose."
I know
You
you
know?
did, and yeah, talk to me, Goose, baby.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the scene when Goose dies because that is a pretty pivotal moment in the movie. I think so. Going back to what I was saying earlier, the Pentagon kind of interjected in the script of this movie because when Goose died, he was initially supposed to die in a plane crash. And the Pentagon kind of rewrote that to make him die in this kind of like ejection malfunction way, because they didn't want to see that. They didn't want people showing that planes were crashing into each other. Like that's not. They didn't
Which
want that.
which like kind of fits better,
I agree.
like because it's more tragic. Like
Yeah,
they
it
were out.
is.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, they're fine. We'll just eject, and then like that happens.
No, it is. It's a pretty brutal scene. Like, and you see it for a split second. The way his body hits like the top of the
Yep.
cockpit. Like, it's
Mhm.
tough, dude. That's a tough way to go down. Um, and it's sad, but so whose fault does this become? Is this Iceman's fault?
No, well, so I think it's more of a. I think it's one of those situations where it's like it was the only thing they could really do. I mean, they're in the dogfight, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, Mavericks breaking rules constantly, but like they did everything they needed to. Like the eject hit. I think his seat either went early or uh, the
something
hatch didn't
happened.
release. Yeah, the hatch didn't
Yes,
release, right, or it
right.
didn't
Yep.
release all the way. So like, or maybe it was. I can't remember exactly,
No,
but
you
like
got it.
Goose is also way bigger than Mav too. So like
Yeah.
like he hits
Most
straight up. The neck hits.
most
The
people
neck
were
hits while Maverick is still getting shot into the air.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, most people were bigger than Maverick because he was 5'7". So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, but that's not the Iceman. It's not the Iceman's fault, right? Because the Iceman wasn't taking the shot. That's the thing is he wasn't doing it. He kept saying, I need 10 seconds, I need 5 seconds. It's like, and then Maverick goes around him, and then that's when he gets caught in his jet. What do they call it?
But but yeah, the jet wash.
The jet wash.
Yeah. But
Yeah, so
also
that's not
like
his fault.
yeah, but you know what is well yeah, and also Mav is the one on the radio telling him to get out of the way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like once again.
But I don't think like maybe like I'm not really sure why they cleared him honestly.
Well, it's not. I mean, why would it's not his fault? He
Not
that's not
Iceman,
his
not
fault.
Iceman, not Iceman.
No, I know Maverick. That's not Maverick's fault.
It's well that's so like the way he died isn't his fault, but like the whole scenario, like
But I don't understand that. Why would the scenario be Maverick's fault? He's the one
he's
who's he's wingmanning. He's wingmanning Iceman. Like he's got to.
Yeah,
He's
but
got
see,
to
like
do it.
I feel like so like I get that right, but I feel like the way that he says it more is that like I know Mav, has him go off. He goes up to take the shot. I think that's an ego thing. That's the thing. Like I think that's a pure, I'm God in this moment. I have to take the shot. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so yes, you're saying because
Yeah,
Iceman
I
didn't
think that
take
whole
the shot.
situation is created because they wouldn't, if he doesn't tell Iceman to pull off, they don't have the jet wash, the engines don't go out, and then Goose isn't dead because they don't have to eject, right?
And that's the reason why Maverick ends up feeling guilty for Goose's death because he does feel like it's his fault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
is
mean, I guess yeah,
instantly forgiven by everybody, and told he's a prodigy, and is told to go back out there.
yeah, that's true. Is that a little fucked up?
Is that a good message for the youth? I
Is
don't
that
know. I
is
mean,
that the message?
I,
Is that the
I
message you
bro,
wanted to send
look at
the
any
party
like
on?
look at all these athletes and who commit crimes
Don't turn
and
this.
are just
Don't
fine the next day.
don't turn this into a soapbox thing.
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I'm just saying.
I mean, in my opinion, Maverick should have been fired after the first flyby when he makes the
Maverick
guy
shouldn't
spill
have
his coffee.
gotten to lieutenant. Could you imagine what this guy was doing when he started? Like,
Is Maverick a bad guy?
is Maverick a yeah? Yes,
Yeah.
Maverick's a bad guy. What do you mean?
Yeah, he's kind of not a good guy. I mean, he's the one.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
here's the problem. Here's the problem, right? He does this in the movie, and
and that
that's all I
ultimately
need.
makes him cooler. I think it's funny because they do try to paint Iceman as the bad dude, but like no, I think Maverick is.
Iceman is literally just concerned for his safety, bro. He's
He,
your company's average he's your company's average safety like inspector, just telling
he's
you
your
like, hey,
quality. He's your
I don't
quality
like what you're
inspector.
doing. Quality control.
He's your OSHA rep. He's your yeah. Uh, apparently the two of them did not like each other very much on set too, which is kind of cool. Apparently Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise did have some beef on set, which
Mhm.
boils over because there's a lot of scenes with the two of them, and they genuinely look like they don't
It's
like.
well, a lot of their scenes together are just like them very close, shirtless, staring at each other,
Yeah.
which like adds to the tension. I think, especially because Tom Cruise is so much shorter than Val Kilmer.
While Val Kilmer just chews gum the entire movie.
Right in his face, dude. Right in his face.
I don't think I have any more best scenes. If I can be totally honest with you, like I do think that the
No.
volleyball scene is the most iconic, which would make it the
Yeah,
best scene.
I think based on our parameters, you got to take it. Which our parameters are whatever the rule of cool, whatever we think is the coolest, we're taking.
Yeah. We use the rule of
And
cool here at Sidebar.
I, wholeheartedly agree with that.
Let's get into
Um,
best line. Let's get into
so
best
well,
line.
I got a pivot proposal for you here. I think we do best performance first because best line is just going to be us yapping for forever on lines, and I'm here for it. But I just know let's get performance out of the way. It's down to two people.
Okay. Who is it?
It's
Talk to me,
I
Goose.
mean I love it. It's literally it's Anthony Edwards for Goose and it's Tom Cruise for Mav.
Yeah,
Right? Do you have anybody else
unfortunately,
we wanted Val to be here so bad, but after watching the movie, it's like
you're
like
you're right. You're right. I think I wanted it to be Val, and Val, we love you. This was for you, but I don't think you're going to win best performance in the Sidebar's eyes. But there are plenty of movies where you do win best performance, buddy.
I think we'll talk
Uh,
about Val. We'll talk about Val again in the next episode. His
well,
performance there, despite
well,
not
how
being
about?
able to speak, I thought was
I mean,
good.
let's he's still really good in this movie, and he's doing the classic Val Kilmer like kind of douchey, handsome, just jerk. But he is really great as Iceman. I think yes, I will say it's Tom Cruise and Anthony Eds at the top. I want to talk about the supporting cast first because Tom
Mhm.
Skerritt is putting in fucking minutes in this movie. I mean, every scene that Skerritt is in
Yeah.
as Viper is a scene
Mhm.
worth watching because Scarrett's classic in this movie, dude.
Mhm.
Um, He's really, really good. He's got some great lines. He's got some great fatherly moments with Maverick. He's a stud. And I do love Scarrett. I don't know Scarrett in any other movies. This is, my age is showing, but I got to give honorable mention to Tom Skerritt. Kelly McGillis as Charlie is really great too. I think she's doing as good as she can for her character. I like her character is not just the love interest in an '80s movie. She's more than that. She's the instructor. She's kind of like this authoritative figure, which makes their romance pretty cool. She's not just kind of like the save me, damsel in distress kind of thing. She's great. Meg Ryan is in this movie for all of 10 minutes, and boy, oh boy, she does put in some heat check performances especially in the Great Balls of Fire scene. She's really going for it in that scene. And I didn't realize that this was kind of one of her first movies. Again, I could be wrong about that as well, but I always felt Meg Ryan. I mean, this is obviously, I don't know Meg Ryan in a lot of movies, if I can be totally honest, even though I know that she is, When Harry Met Sally, You've Got Mail, Sleepless in Seattle, like that. I think that all came a little bit after this movie. But yeah, she's really great in this, and she's young. So I think this kind of probably rocketed her career. And then my boy Tim Robbins is Merlin, who becomes Maverick's guy at the end, which is kind of funny. It's just I don't think he says 10 words, but oh shit, that's Tim Robbins. Shawshank Redemption foreshadowing. Yeah, talk to me about Anthony Eds versus Tom Cruise. What's your take, and why is it Anthony Eds?
I mean, Anthony Eds is just like, Sidebar real cool, right? It's like it's the very southern accent that just like kind of weaves in randomly when he's talking, and it's not really like there the whole time, but I'm here for it. It's like the accent got beaten out of him when he went to basic training, right?
Yeah.
Like that's, and it like creeps back in.
His mustache is great.
He's not giving him like a ton to do either. It's just like, yeah, here's Goose, he's Mav's partner, and I think Maverick as a character has just so much more. He actually has like progression, right? Because he's like, well, kind of, he's still a fucking asshole at the end, but like, he kind of is like, oh, I'm a little more humble, has a journey through the movie. I think Goose is really just like in the back seat the whole time. Now, I will say I really like the performance of like the kind of like nervous, like in the back, because you ever been in a car where you think someone's gonna crash, and you're in the front seat, and you're just like, and you're like, you don't want to say anything because you don't want to criticize their driving, and you're just like please make sure we're going in the right way, But the way he's talking, it just like it gives you that vibe, right?
What a horrible job that must be, to just be the guy who has to be
the spotter, yeah.
The spot, like your life is in the hands of this guy, and specifically Maverick's.
What's it actually called? What's that role actually called?
I forget the name of it. They say it a couple times, but I forget the name of it.
Radar Intercept Officer. Okay, Rio.
Radar Intercept Officer. The Rio, the RIO, or they call it a Rio. I think is what they call it. But I actually think that Anthony Edwards is just a better actor in this movie. My hot take is that I don't think Tom Cruise is a very good actor. I don't. I don't know what it is, and that might be a bad take. But I've seen him in movies that are he's really, really good in. But like he's an action star, and
he's Tom Cruise. He's just like Tom Cruise. Like, you know what I mean? He's just Tom Cruise.
I don't think. I don't like Maverick as a character. If I can be totally transparent with you,
Maverick is a huge douchebag. Like he really he does nothing but like try to like sully every opportunity given to him, and he keeps getting second chances.
And he just he's he's so narcissistic, and it just I don't like him.
Again, he does this, and we're all sorts, right?
But just with the sidebar rule of cool, this motion. And for those of you who are listeing, me and Cam are wearing aviator sunglasses this entire podcast in honor of a movie that either made aviators cool or just heightened the coolness of aviators. I wonder how many pairs of aviators were sold after this
I don't know,
podcast.
but this must have been the most like successful product placement of all time.
Yeah, I almost said I wonder how many aviators were sold after this podcast came out, because hopefully we're going to get the spike back up for aviators after this with our following.
Shout out Aviators, give us a deal.
Shout out aviators. I think I'm wearing gas station aviators. Pugs, I think, is the brand, but we don't do free ads, so whatever. But no, I think
Why'd you mention that?
I
Why'd you
don't know.
mention that? We're not getting the
Sorry.
sponsorship now.
Sponsored by Pugs. No, I think Anthony Eds. I actually think Anthony Eds' best performance in this movie. Not gonna lie to you, I'm willing to say it. Tom Cruise is doing what Tom Cruise does, and I don't like Maverick, and I fucking love Goose. And I think you're right. He's not given a lot to do, Goose. But in the small time he's in this movie, he's the best. He's the funniest. He's the most genuine. He is just a better character because I don't know. I like his family. I think it's cute. I love the scene when he's singing. Like, he's got that charisma. Like, Anthony Eds has that charisma. He's got the mustache. Like, you're right. He's got that southern kind of charm. But I'm a Goose guy over Maverick every day of
And
the week.
ultimate wingman too.
Ultimate wingman.
Ultimate wingman.
Yeah, I mean that scene when they're talking at the bar and they end up just singing to Kelly McGillis is an all time scene. And that's all Goose's idea. So yeah, my lock it in for Goose.
No, I'm good. I'm locked in. I'm on.
Okay, talk to me, Goose. Talk to me about best line.
All right.
Because now I'm ready to just spit this whole movie because I got
Dude,
9.
there are just so many funny lines that are like so dumb. Like, let me
So
just
many
start. Like,
funny lines.
dude, let me just start with like when it's Slider, right? He's talking to Mav. They enter like the classroom, and he just goes up. He smells them, and he's like, "Slider, you stink."
You stink.
Like, next time you get in a disagreement with someone or someone's like tripping, you got to go up and just smell them and say
And
you
the way
stink.
he like really sticks his nose out in front of him, that's the
Yeah,
ultimate way to shut somebody up. Yeah, Slider also he's vying. Slider's trying to make this his movie, but like nobody gives a shit about Iceman's backup, dude. Just relax.
yeah.
One of my favorite lines is in the beginning during Stinger's monologue before they get sent to Top Gun when they're on the ship, and he says, "Your ego is writing checks your
Just
body
your body
can't
can't
cash."
cash. Yep.
I mean,
Um.
is there a better, like, what is that? First of all, what does that mean? But I no, actually no, I get what it means, and it's
Yeah.
fucking
Just
electric.
it's a play on the saying. Your mouth is writing. Checks your ass can't catch. No, wrong way. Fuck that up. Fuck that up. Cut it. Cut it. Cut
Your
it.
mouth is writing checks your ass can't catch. I don't think that's a term.
I fucked it up.
Your ego's writing checks your body can't cash.
Yeah.
Electric.
I feel the need for
The
speed.
need for speed. Yeah, love that one.
Yeah.
Negative Ghost Rider
Yep.
came about, I think, as a result of this movie. Negative Ghost Rider is something most people, at least 20 somethings like you and me, have in our vernacular.
You can be my wingman anytime.
You can be my wingman anytime. Bullshit. You can be mine. I think that's got to open the pod.
We'll get back. Obviously, like talk to me, Goose is tough for me to like not
Talk
think
to
of
me,
as
Goose.
instantly the best.
Talk to me, Goose. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Like, that gets said
Yeah.
a lot in the movie without them singing the song.
What is it? It's classified. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
I'd have to kill you. I like it's a really cheesy line when he says it to Kelly McGillis when they're at the bar and he goes, oh, I've only tried this twice. Oh, what happened? The first one I crashed and burned. And the second one, I don't know, I'll let you know. And he has that shit-eating grin on his face when he's not talking about flying. He's talking about meeting a girl at a bar. Like, fuck off. You two characters are going to Top Gun. Beautiful way to open the movie. I also love Meg Ryan in the Greatest Balls of Fire scene when she says, "Take me to bed or lose me forever."
So good, dude. So that's one of the delivery of that line is like so good in the film.
I'm telling you, dude, Meg Ryan is putting on a heat check in this. She's really going for it. She's great.
Remember, boys, no points for second place.
No points for second place.
That's a good one.
You can be my wingman anytime is such a good one. Man, I cranked through mine. I don't think I have any left. I feel the need for speed was in mine.
Buddy, you're forgetting like a great exchange. You're still dangerous. I am dangerous. That's one a great one.
I danger.
So like let's narrow it down because like that's a ton of it. This is just like a good. We should change. It's tough to change category, but like best line should just be like one liner of the film because like that's what fits this the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is a one liners movie for sure.
Yes. Oh, so many. I mean, I think when you boil it down, like the two best lines, I think if you're going by like, okay, what gets said the most just in the common, in everyday, like it's negative Ghost Rider and Talk to Me Goose. Like, I don't know how it wouldn't be like Talk to Me Goose. I feel like a lot of people, but negative Ghost Rider that's always being said.
Yeah, man. But I think Talk to Me Goose is way more associated with the film.
Yeah, agreed. I think
Like
negative Ghost.
how many people know Negative Ghost Rider came from Top Gun?
I don't think a lot. And I did look up the origin of the phrase negative Ghost Rider, and I think it does kind of become popular after this. But like that was a term that was used in aviation and the Navy and all these military branches. But like it just became popular because of this movie. But like you're right, Talk to Me Goose. I mean, that's about Top Gun. We know that already. Like that's no
Yeah,
secret.
right. Especially it's just like you get a call back in the next film to it.
I know. I can't wait to
It's
talk about Maverick because
yeah.
I for a
So wait,
remake.
before we move on, are you locked in for that? Because I am. I think Talk to Me Goose is by far the most
Talk to Me
iconic,
Goose. Talk to Me
best line
Goose.
in the film.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Great.
And then we can just listen to Anthony Ed's talk. Yeah, I think I'm excited to talk about Maverick because I think it when that I remember when Maverick came out when I saw the trailers for that I was like, God, why are they doing this? Like,
Yep,
let let
absolutely. I had the
let
same thought. I was like, let this franchise die, dude.
let
Let
this
like
Top Gun is such a people hold it so dear as like such a great '80s movie,
mm.
and I think like
It got delayed a bunch during COVID too, so it was like
yeah.
if everyone thought reshoots like crazy.
Yeah. I just think why are we doing this? Why are we bringing this back? Like it's we're really we're towing the line for like okay, we're opening the door for them to bring back every quintessential 80s movies. When will they remake The
Mhm.
Breakfast Club and Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles and St. Elmo's
17,
Fire?
17 candles.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like give it 10 years and there'll be a 17 Candles. Like
Mm.
but that's not needless to say, Top Gun Maverick is phenomenal. And
I would argue it was like a better
I
movie than this one.
you
Like it's
might be right.
movie. It's it's tough because like this is like quintessential Top Gun, but like Top Gun Maverick is like a better comprehensive movie.
It's like they took what they're doing in this movie and they almost made it better.
Yeah,
So
which is rare, especially after what 30 years.
yeah, 30 years. I mean, the movie when Top Gun Maverick came out, what 2 or 3 years ago? So
Yeah.
2022, 2023, like
Mhm.
yeah, almost 30 years later, and it holds up. So I'm excited to talk about it because buddy, I don't know if I got anything more about the OG Top Gun here. I think we did it.
I think we emptied the clip today.
I think we realized that we don't like Maverick. We realized that Goose is a better character.
I'm gonna like when we turn on that take in the next episode and we actually start liking Maverick too when he's the cool instructor and he's older and we empathize with him a little bit more. Like that's like he's like we're gonna do a 180 on this I hate Mav take I think, and
Whose
we're gonna be
idea
able
do you think that was? You don't think that Tom Cruise watched Top Gun and went, "Wait a minute, I'm the villain. I need to be the good guy. Let's make Top
yeah.
Gun."
Well, he can't be the villain of nothing no more. We
No.
won't get into that for legal reasons, but um,
Should we do a Mission Impossible binge? Because I've actually not seen a lot of
dude,
those, and I feel like that
I would love a Mission Impossible binge. Here's the thing: do we start with one?
that's the problem is there's so many of them, and
Like I
honestly,
would love, dude. I'd love to do the one of the last couple would be excellent for us.
the recent ones are really good.
But it's like, do we have to cover the rest of the series? Like,
I
when
don't
are we gonna
know.
drop in and do like we only do if we do a series? I feel like we do all of them,
Yeah, we can't
or
do.
like we start in chronological order. It's like
How many
we're
Mission
good.
Impossibles are there? 10.
I think so. What are we gonna
Yeah.
do? Die Hard 2 before Die Hard? You know?
I mean, hey, Sam Jackson. We don't talk for people who like movies like you and me, like especially man movies and action movies. Like we don't give Tom Cruise enough credit because he is in some of the best. And not to mention like he's the ultimate like stunt guy, like does his own stunts and all that cool shit.
That's the
Um,
cool stuff, dude.
what
Some of
would
like
be
the Mission Impossible stunts. I mean,
what
honestly,
would
like the
yeah
Maverick stunts too are crazy.
yeah I'm excited to learn a little bit more about like how that movie got made. But what would be a different? What would be another Tom Cruise movie if we were to pick one outside of Mission Impossible? Would you do
You
like I
know,
love A Few Good Men.
I mean, if people forget we already did a Tom Cruise movie. Tell me what it is.
Oh,
You know,
Tropic Thunder. Yeah,
people
yeah.
forget. People forget. That's a good
All time
dude.
side character
And
is
honestly, like one of his like talk about, you say he's not a great actor. I'll point you to that role and tell me that guy can't act. All
I
right,
don't think okay. Is that what I said? Did I say he's not a great actor?
you definitely. I feel like you did say that. You might catch some flack. The
I
floor.
kind of just
Talk.
want to
Hey,
walk back. All
talk
right,
to me, Goose.
I'll walk back the take that he's not a good actor because I think the term "is he a good actor" is just like it's all relative. And like if you could ever judge an actor based on like good or bad, I think you could only ever boil it down to like are their movies successful or do they win awards? And I don't know if Tom Cruise has won of a lot of awards. I think he probably won for Rain Man. Um, if I were to look up if he's won awards, you probably will laugh at me if you're listening to this and you're like, you don't know that he's never won an Oscar, but he's been nominated for 4. But I mean, his movies are some of the most popular movies ever. So I'm gonna walk back my take that he's not a good actor, but I don't think I like him. I think that's just really what it comes down
No,
to.
good.
Um,
I
except
think a
for like
fun one for a couple fun ones for us. I think Edge of Tomorrow would be really good for us. I think we'd like that one a lot. Yeah.
out of all the Tom Cruise movies, you want Edge of Tomorrow, huh? Okay.
No, there's a couple. I think Minority Report would be good.
Jerry Maguire. I
Jerry
mean,
Maguire would be a great one, I think, too.
Rain Man. I
Yep,
mean,
Ramian
come
would be
on.
good.
But yeah, I mean, I don't even know if I want to do another Tom Cruise movie. But like, if I were to do one, I probably would go with either Jerry Maguire or Rain Man if I were to pick another Tom Cruise
mhm.
because those movies are awesome. But no, I'm excited to talk about Top Gun Maverick. So I think the secret's out. The next podcast episode is going to be Top Gun Maverick. And I'm excited to talk Miles Teller and everybody's new heartthrob in Glenn Powell because that guy is taking over the world.
John Hamm in
John
a stellar supporting role.
Jennifer Connelly comes back in that movie.
Yep.
Val Kilmer, one of the last
Ed Harris.
Ed Harris. Yeah, I mean this is a great cast, so I'm really looking forward to talking about it. But yeah, man, if you got nothing else, then I got nothing else.
Yeah, man. I think we're all set. It's been another
Which means
great time on the
it's been another episode of the Sidebar podcast.
Sidebar. Yes.
The
The
podcast,
movie.
the
Oh,
movie,
movie.
the
The
experience,
experience.
the
The
ride. Take your
ride.
sunglasses off.